residents, councillors and colleagues. Before we proceed, we will be recording online and also photographs will be taken. So does anybody mind in the room if photographs are taken? Any objections, please? Okay, there's one person. And anybody else on this side? Okay. CG, please note that. And then please let us know if there is anybody online as well whilst you're recording. Okay. Welcome to People Power Stratford and West Ham. And it is our first meeting. Just give me one. Okay, I have got Sarah Mix with me to do sign language. So I am Jyoti Singh. I'm your area manager for Stratford, West Ham, Forest Gate and Maryland. Sorry, Chris. Okay, this is the schedule today. We'll start with housekeeping and then I'll introduce your local councillor who could attend the meeting today. And then we'll go on to find out what are people power places and why we are here today. So followed by activity 1, which is kind of a warm-up activity. And then we'll introduce the council strategy and priorities, followed by questions and answers. You will have 10 minutes to ask questions and answer on the topic. Then it'll be activity 2, which will be a table discussion and on the priorities for the area. And then there'll be feedback on that, which will be 1 minute. And then activity 3 is going to be voting for the top 3 priorities. We'll introduce our new working group members for 2023 to 2025, and Councillor Charlene McLean will make the closing remarks. And as we are online, there may be a few hitches with the system, so I do apologize in advance. Okay, our housekeeping and guidelines. Please listen to each other, be respectful. You don't have to agree, share what comes to mind. This meeting will be recorded and photographs, as I said earlier. Please let us know if you do not wish your photos to be taken. I think there are 2 people in the room. The meeting is hybrid, so we will have people in person and online, as you know. As I said earlier, we've got a BSL interpreter and we have got facilitators on each table in the room. Could you please wave everybody? And we have got Anna and Colsuma online. I just want to make you aware that we will be using an online polling software, which is called Mentimeter, during activity 3. So let your table host or online host know if you need support with that. You will need a smartphone for that as well. And enjoy being part of shaping your community neighbourhood. Okay, meet your councillors. So we have got 3 wards, and for Stratford is Councillor Terry Paul, Councillor Sabia Kamali, and Councillor Joshua Garfield. Stratford Olympic Park, Councillor Nate Higgins and Councillor Delhi Keeling. And West Ham, Councillor John Whitworth, Councillor Dr. John Whitworth, Councillor Charlene McLean, and Councillor John Gray. May I ask which councillors are in the room? I know Charlene McLean is here, Sabia Kamali, and we've got Councillor John Whitworth. And Anna, is any of the councillors online? Councillor John Whitworth, may I ask you to come and introduce yourself quickly, please?
Good evening, everybody. Nice to see so many people here. Is that for the picture? Okay. Okay, sorry. Okay, all I said was good evening, everybody. Nice to be here and to see you all here. I'm John Whitworth, councillor for West Ham Ward.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Councillor Sabia for Stratford Ward. Oh, I'm also on the Cabinet Deputy for Housing Management and Modernisation. Thanks.
Thank you, Sabia.
Thank you. So I'm Councillor Charlie McLean. I'm the councillor for West Ham Ward, and for any residents from West Ham, we hold our surgeries at Vicarage Lane Community Centre on a Saturday from 10 until 11, but not bank holiday weekends.
Thank you very much, councillors. Anna, is any councillors online?
Oh, not that I can see, but please make yourself known if you are here.
Okay. Just give us 1 minute, please. Yeah. Anna, can you hear us, and can you tell us if any councillors are online? Okay, if not, then I'll proceed. Okay, what is People Park Places? So People Park Places give Neom residents the chance to make positive changes in their local area. I think a number of you will know that previously it was called the Community Assemblies Program, and we are one of the largest participatory budgeting program in the country. Neom has 8 community neighborhoods. Each neighborhood has been allocated 200,000 funding to spend on local projects done by local people in the next 2 years, and that is from this year till 2025. Anyone who lives, works, or learns in community neighborhood can take part. So where does this money come from? It comes from Neighborhood Community Infrastructure Levy, which is a charge on the new developments in the area to help fund strategic and neighborhood infrastructure in Neom. So what are the criteria for NCIL funded projects? So the first one is projects that help with the development and growth of your area, projects that improve our public spaces and infrastructure, and projects that improve the health and happiness of the local community. Next slide, please. We're just showing this short video of People Park Places. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Councillor Charlie McLean. I'm the Cabinet Member for Resident Engagement and Resident Experience, and I oversee People Powered Places, the new brand for community assemblies. We're currently celebrating the end of the second cycle. There's been a wide range of projects, gardens, playgrounds, compostable toilet, and there's been all sorts of different ideas that people have come up with. As time's gone on, people have got more involved, and you can really see an excitement and buzz amongst local residents.
I think it's definitely everyone's responsibility to get involved in local knowledge. At least you can bring your opinion and maybe even introduce something that just wasn't thought of before.
Platforms like the Assembly are really important because we're all part of this local community. I'm no less part of it by facilitating a project than somebody who's voted for a project and who comes along to the project. So there's a sense of cohesion.
We've evaluated the last 2 cycles and listened to people to see how we can improve. The cycle is going to be for 2 years next time around because residents felt that they needed more time to develop their project and to deliver. We also introduced the Co-Create platform.
Neom Co-Create is Neom Council's online digital platform, and it's a way for us to extend our engagement online. It isn't replacing face-to-face engagement, it's just for us to extend it and to create a digital way for our residents to keep up to date with projects, to take part in engagement processes, to find out about the different consultation pieces that are happening in their neighbourhoods. We use it to recruit our working group members. We also use it to undertake our participatory budgeting exercise, which is voting online for the projects that residents want to see happen in their neighbourhoods.
Hi, my name is Emmanuel. We're at Newham Leisure Centre right now, currently running one of our youth projects, Youth FC. It's a football project for young people aged 14 to 18 to come down, release some stress and play football.
I got involved because I found a great way to just socialise, have fun, just relax, like time away from studies and everything. In my opinion, keeping your mind on one thing constantly is not a very good thing. It just puts my mind in a place where I don't have to think about anything other than playing football.
The name of our project is The Police, the Drug Curtailment and Support for Ethnic Minority Families. The Police is helping over 30 families.
Heard about this project through Instagram, and since then I found someone that I've been able to talk to. It has made us realize that as a family we can get through this and there is help out there.
The project's called Generation East London, and it consists of 3 projects: the deaf awareness training, self-defense for deaf and hearing women, and BSL storytelling. They're new. They educate. So they educate the East Ham community about deaf awareness, deaf culture. So we want to make sure that the hearing community are including the deaf community.
It's called the Barber Connect project. So the idea is to network all these local barbers, then we can get all these young people engaged so I can impact them with this barbering skill as a business, and they could be responsible for themselves and for their future.
The name of this year's project is Welcome to the Channel Sea. It's a trio of 3 interlinked parts which aim to bring more people into the Longwall Ecology Garden. Anyone who walks along this path, which is many people every day, will benefit from the general care that we're providing for the space, keeping it clean and tidy.
We came up with the idea of the neighborhood watch, try and use that as a way of giving people the confidence in their area and just making people feel less comfortable committing crime. Things like fly tipping, things like vandalism, bring back that community feel and use the neighborhood watch to actually say, you know what, there's a neighbor that can help you out, or there's somebody down the road who's looking out for you, to essentially make people feel safer.
Our project is called Ashok's Vision International, and it's a youth-led nature and biodiversity project where young people come and help improve the community spaces and green spaces. Research suggests there is a clear link between nature and mental well-being. So having to look after plants, it's so important for young people to have access to these type of activities.
We were discussing potential projects that could benefit the community, and this was certainly a project that was in the back of all of our heads. What it is developing the local park area near Warrior Square. It's been disused for quite a while. It's been in urgent need of repair. So we know that by developing it, by improving it, it's going to invite a lot more families to play games and just engage with the rest of the community.
So next year's will be bigger and better. There'll be more participants, there's more time, there's more money, so that people can really get involved and make a difference in their local communities.
It's very important for the community to initiate different projects. There is a sense of ownership when it's community-led, which leads to success.
You don't know how much your idea may benefit someone until it's in place. Definitely 100% go for it.
Projects have an impact on how Newham is shaped as a borough. And that's the beauty of Newham. It's like a vision that we have where we just continue growing and evolving and bringing new people into the idea of why residents should be involved in community engagement.
I hope you all enjoyed that video and I gave you some idea what has been happening, what are people power places, and it is a very big program. So, and what we can achieve in the next 2 years. Okay, we'll just start the slides in a second. Sorry, it takes a few seconds to switch between the slides and the videos, so please bear with us. Okay, let's move on. So you just saw the video on people powered places. So I'll just tell you the 6 steps from the start to the end of this program. So we are here today at step 1, where you decide your local priorities. Step 2 will be you discuss solution to improve your area, and that will be the next. I shouldn't call it an assembly because I'll confuse everybody in the next event, which will be in July. In step 3, you come up with project proposals to receive funding. And that can be residents, that can be the local organizations, voluntary faith groups, community organizations. Residents can apply for up to £5,000 and local organizations can apply for up to £20,000. So step 4 will be you vote for your favorite projects. And then step 5, successful projects are delivered by residents and local organizations with support from Newham Council. And at the end of this, we celebrate everybody's achievements. Next slide, please. Okay, this is the cycle. This is a bit more elaborated. If I can explain a little bit more, you can see where we are today. And then in June, July, our solutions, that will be the next meeting. And then applications can be submitted from 20th of June to 3rd of September. And then October, everybody will vote for their favorite projects. And in November, successful projects will be announced. So the actual delivery of the projects will start from January 2024. We had a lot of feedback from everybody that the annual cycle is too short, and that's why it has now become a 2-year cycle. And then the cycle finishes in May, June 2025 with the celebratory event. Next, please. Okay, I think everybody knows which ward they live in. So we have got 3 wards. The first one is Stratford. Now we have got a new ward, Stratford Olympic Park, since last year, and West Ham. And I'll give you some brief stats for this area. So the total population of our area is over 43,000. And as per the census report, the 3 wards, the 90% of the population is under the age of 65. So I consider it a very young population, and majority of the population has good or very good health. And also it's very, very diverse area, which is really good because that's what brings the ideas into our culture, into our programs, and into our heritage. Next, please. So why are we here today? You will meet your neighbours. You will learn about the council's priorities today, discuss the matters which affect you or the whole community, and then finally we'll vote for the 3 most important priorities for Stratford and West Ham. Okay, let's go on to activity 1. This is a very simple activity. Your facilitators will speak to you about this, but you just introduce yourself so you can meet your neighbors, you know who they are. And first activity would be say one thing you love about your neighborhood. And the second one will be say one thing you would change in your neighborhood. So this is just one word. And as you speak and the facilitators online and in person put it into the cloud, we can see it. So here we go. We have got about 8 minutes, I would say. Thank you.
Hi online. So there are 30 of us, which is amazing. So I'm going to put us into breakout rooms. Give me a second.
Hmm? Yeah, yeah. Oh, the video's always a lag. Yeah.
Right, Sam, I know you're there. We're waiting for CG to join. If you could help us with this one, that'd be great. Thank you.
What do we do, bro?
Okay.
No, it shouldn't. It shouldn't be a bad thing. Hang on. I'm just trying. So annoying. Hang on.
See the word cloud on there?
I need to share it online as well. So one second.
Okay. Okay, can everybody see it online as well, hopefully? So what do we like about the area? Because it's library, West Ham Park, parks, communities, food, diversity, diverse, nature, outdoor table tennis, well looked after. I like that one. And then Olympic Park, changes, kindness. I think, yeah, we definitely need that if everybody's kind here. Volunteering, of course, the biggest part of our program. And then we've got colorful, coming together, theatre, and somebody has put in EBBA from this area. So there we are. So we are connected. It's quiet as well. I haven't seen Stratford West Ham Olympic Park that quiet, but I like that. And shopping facilities and good communication. Okay, thank you everyone. This will be shared with you, all the slides and everything online. Okay, the next activity is, again on Mentimeter, and that what would you like to change in the area? And again, it's one word, please. Over to table host, and we'll give you 2 minutes for that. So please be quick.
Okay, everybody, I'm going to put us back into the breakout rooms.
Oh, and I kept getting lost, and I kept freezing my group. So I'm having bad connection issues. Sorry, everybody in my group.
Anna, hello, it's Mohammed here. Sorry. Our group, Samantha was supposed to be the host, but she wasn't actually made a host. So we've been just freestyling it really. So I've just been been covering it. So but it wasn't recorded, so we just got to find a way that we make sure what colleagues have said in the room hasn't got lost. Yeah?
Okay. Do you want to shout them out and enter the Mentimeter?
I was just going to say thank you for ad-libbing there. We are just having a few technical issues, as Jyoti said, but feel free to put them in the chat, and then we can add it in the
Can move on to the next slide. If
that's okay.
If you please put your ideas in the chat, and all online, if you please go on mute. Thank you, Mohammed, for raising the issue. We'll make sure that the member of staff is made a co-host. Thank you. Okay, I'm going to call upon James Partis, Assistant Chief Executive and Chief Transformation Officer. He's going to give you some information on the council's strategy and priorities. But before James come forward, we're going to play a video so you have some understanding of what James is going to explain. Thank you.
Newham is one of the fastest growing, young and diverse boroughs in the country. We have over 351,000 people living in Newham and are the third fastest growing borough in London. Over 7 in 10 residents are from Black, Asian and ethnically diverse communities. We are at the heart of a new inclusive economy. We are home to international districts like Stratford and the Royal Docks. Stratford has become the busiest station in the UK. We now have the third highest rate of jobs growth in London. However, we have deep-rooted inequalities. A quarter of our neighbourhoods are the most deprived in the UK. After housing costs, almost half of our residents live in poverty. The cost of living emergency will disproportionately hit our residents. But we can build on the solidarity of our partners and communities, mobilising cross-sector organisations to deliver over 200,000 parcels to those who cannot afford to get food, working with businesses to increase the number becoming London living wage employers, getting people to pledge their commitment to improving people's health and well-being via our 50-step strategy. We are focusing all our energy as a council to build a fairer Newham. We have developed 8 priorities to support residents through tough times and live happy, healthy and well. What does this mean for residents? We're already starting to deliver on these new priorities. For example, providing over £250,000 of assistance to families with food and energy, and securing £600,000 to residents get their benefits. Expanding our team of community safety officers to keep people safe. Agreed for £1.2 million to invest in children and young people with special educational needs and disabilities. Providing over £800,000 to grassroots projects through our community assemblies. Launching a cost of living crisis response to work collectively across the borough to support our residents during these hard times. Examples of what we'll deliver over the next 4 years include delivering another 1,500 social rent homes our residents can afford as part of a £2 billion investment in housing delivery. Developing family hubs to provide wraparound support for families. Investing £40 million in the coming 4 years to keep our streets and neighbourhoods clean for our residents. Pilot Stratford as a green zone to model an environmentally sustainable neighbourhood and develop our first green budget. Develop a network of data economy hubs in delivering our Newham Sparks vision. Find out more at our Building a Fairer Newham webpage.
Thank you, Chris. James, over to you, please.
For repeat, so hi everyone. I'm James Partis. I'm the Assistant Chief Executive Transformation Officer, and I'm the CMT, which is our phrase for corporate management team, the senior management team for the council, representative for the Stratford and West Ham Community Assembly area. First things first, mentioned on the table, I'm actually a lifelong Stratford resident. I grew up in Stratford, went to local school, St Bonaventures. I know the area really well. And it's a real privilege actually to be able to be part of the launch of People Power Places for Stratford and West Ham. I think some slides are going to come up on the screen at some point, but oh yeah, I'll reverse again. So what I'm going to try and do in the least boring way possible is to just explain what we mean by building a referendum, and you just see gives a really good sort of overview of the sorts of things that the council's trying to bring that vision to life. The ultimate premise of building a referendum is what can we do to make life for every resident in the borough as enjoyable, happy, healthy, and well as possible. And there's a whole series of things that are built into our core plan, which set out what the council can do over the next 3 years. It is a very long and boring read, so I don't suggest spending too much time going through it. But the things it's trying to do are not boring. They're really, really exciting and innovative, and they point to a really positive, investment-focused approach to changing the area. For today, I'll just kind of give you an overview of what the priorities mean in practice and a few examples of the sorts of things that the council's trying to do, because hopefully that will help you think through how the sorts of projects and initiatives and proposals that you'll be coming up with might help linking or support that overall ambition. And it is like a real credit, I think, to the kind of ambition of the plan that the council is putting in, you know, £1.6 million worth of funding into community-led projects. That's one of the largest community-led budgeting schemes in the country, and it's a really great opportunity for local communities to kind of develop their areas, improve things, and be innovative with what we want to do. So this is it's really great that you're here. You're at the front door of trying to shape a really exciting programme for the next 2 years. The priorities you select today will have a really meaningful impact on the sorts of projects and schemes that come forward. So it's great that you're here. You're getting to shape it, which is brilliant. Our priorities are set out there. The first one is our healthier Newham and ageing well, and that includes all of the things that we're doing as a council to try and make the health and well-being of our residents better over time. That's all about the work we're doing with our GPs, the work we're doing with our NHS partners to improve the way things work for residents when they access care. It's all about the way we fund our care workers and give them meaningful London living wage salaries to kind of do their jobs effectively. It's about the things we do with our leisure centres, for example, to give everyone an open and equal opportunity to get fit and get well. And it's a whole range of other things that our public health team do. Our second priority is Newham's inclusive economy, and that's all of the work the council's trying to do to kind of make local areas thrive and to create local jobs that are adding value to people's lives. There's lots of services the council provides to kind of do this, including Our Newham Work, which some of you may know about, Our Newham Money, which is our money advice service, Our Newham Skills, which is where you can go and find out about careers of the future, and a whole range of additional regeneration schemes that you may know about, like the Royal Docks Enterprise Zone, the stuff that's happening in Stratford, the stuff that's happening in all of our communities, and there's a significant investment programme around that. Your neighbourhood, which is all of the work the council's doing to make local areas better. That includes the work to make streets clean, the stuff we're doing to tackle fly tipping in the area, but also the stuff we're doing to make parks, green spaces and public realm really enjoyable. The council's aiming for some really ambitious targets around getting as many green flag parks as possible, and those are the parks that nationally are recognised as being really, really good quality. There'll be some coming in Stratford in the near future, but many, many more will come. It's also the place where we talk about all of our sustainable transport for the future. So cycle infrastructure, electrical vehicle charging points, how we make Newham a green borough, all of that is included in that area as well. Safe in Newham, that's the priority, which is all about making Newham as safe as possible. How do we work with the police to kind of make everyone aware of the safety issues in the area? How do we respond to crime? How do we respond to antisocial behaviour? The council's put in additional £1 million into its antisocial behaviour and noise service in the next year, and you'll actually be able to call the council and get through to the noise out of hours, which will be a really, really positive thing for most residents who experience those sorts of problems. There's all sorts of things that go around that with our street lighting programme, our community safety schemes, the work we want to do to help women feel safer at night. That all fits the work the council's doing there. Homes for our residents, which isn't one of our priorities here today. The main priorities are the 6 that are involved there. That's our £2 billion housing development programme over the next 10 years, which will build 1,500 social rent affordable homes, and the wider housing programme that's going to kind of create enough homes for the future for Newham, and all the work we do to help residents who really struggle with housing and in the private rented sector and with homelessness. Supporting young people, just to kind of finish off, that's the council's ambition to make Newham the best place for children and young people to grow up. That's all the work we do with schools to kind of make them safe and effective places for learning. We're building a whole range of family hubs across the borough where you can go to get support for your family and your family's needs. But it's also a place where we talk about how do we make children safe, how do we give them all of the emotional health and wellbeing support they need to be effective and safe in the future. And it's where we have the aspirational programs, what our children and young people could do for the future in their own careers and their own aspirations. People Powered Newham is the last one. That's the real priority that we're highlighting for community assemblies. And the flagship initiative there is actually what we're doing today. That's our People Power Places programme and all of the grant funding that's going to go around that and your opportunity to shape what's happening in your local area. I've rabbited on, I've hopefully not made that as boring as it sounds, and hopefully you kind of get a flavour of the sorts of things the council's looking to prioritise through building a fairer Newham. And hopefully from that, maybe there's some interesting ideas, not only that are going to come from the community itself, but also ideas that can link into the things the council might already be investing in. So I'll kind of suggest we move on from this slide, if that's all right, and introduce the next exercise. So on this slide, there's a few kind of key facts about Newham, which are quite interesting to know. I won't take you through all of them, but they refer to the fact that in many of these kind of key themes, we have real challenges and needs that we know these projects can support, and there's a real opportunity to tackle not only local issues, but issues that can help Newham overall become a better place. We can probably move on from this slide as well, if that's okay. So the next task, having said what you like about your area and what you'd like to change, I'm the person that voted for ABBA as the thing that I like. It is worth a visit. It is a bit expensive though. You are going to be asked to talk about the 6 themes that were in bold on that slide, and there are cue cards on your table, and to have a discussion about what you think the most important 3 priorities from those 6 might be. Once you've done that, you're going to be invited to vote. And that's a really important opportunity for you to select what your priorities for the Stratford West Ham area are. Those priorities are not only going to be just things that we say are important, but they're going to be the priorities that we're going to assess, and you're going to assess the projects and ideas that come forward for funding in the future. So what you decide today is going to fundamentally shape the programme for the next 2 years. So not adding too much pressure, hopefully, to the conversation, but it is a really fundamental part of today's session. Once we've done that, there'll be a kind of run through of what happens next and some feedback. So I'll stop there, if that's okay. Yeah, and any questions about any of that before we break out into the heated discussion about priorities for this area? No questions is fine. So, online? Raise a hand on the chat. I don't think I'm seeing anything. Okay, so yeah, sorry. Would you like the microphone? Okay. Or just shout really loudly. For online, we do need a microphone. Sorry.
Hello.
Hi.
Great. Question I've got for you. Great speech, by the way. All of these initiatives are all well and good, but I actually live on a council estate. Yeah, I've been trying tirelessly to get fellow residents to come along to these sessions. Most of them have actually been living in the council for 20 plus 40 years. Yeah, they have actually lost hope or belief in the council because they've interacted, engaged in the past, and it's come through to nothing. So how can you inspire residents that have once believed in the council but no longer want to participate in any initiatives, whatever? What can you actually do? Because their main concern is their everyday life experience, repairs, noise, and all of that. If you don't focus on the basic business as usual activities, why should they believe and sign up to the new initiatives?
Lots of nods from everyone. Thank you. It's a very good question. There's a lot to that, and I could give you quite a lengthy response, but I think it's a really important point, really, isn't it? Because it's really easy to focus when we're talking about kind of new projects and new initiatives on the things that are different and new and not necessarily the core business of the council. And I think there's a real opportunity in future discussions at the community level and through People Power Places to really get under the skin of what local residents are experiencing and what the council is doing to kind of rectify core services, and I would include repairs, the way we respond to street cleansing inquiries, for example, or fly tipping. What does the council do when there's a call about a noise complaint with a neighbour and that needs to be resolved quite quickly? What does the council do to fix a pothole on the street? Those are all like fundamental universal services. They are services that a lot of energy and effort is being put into improving any council at the moment, and significant funding is going in to improve them. But you can't just believe my words on that. You know, the way that is to be measured is by your experience of whether those services improve. It's a sort of thing which I completely would say is a valid, continuous challenge to put to all of the kind of continued endeavours that the council's putting together. I wonder, you know, as a kind of separate, you know, opportunity for engagement, whether we feed into future programmes like this, opportunities to talk about that universal experience of council services and getting the basics right. And there's lots of stuff that I, you know, would love to be able to kind of spend more time going through with you. Perhaps not for today's session, but perhaps through another mechanism. There's also the ongoing engagement mechanisms through the tenant management organisations and forums that are going to start to be set up in the next year, particularly around housing estates and housing needs. And our housing hubs are starting to be prominent on high street. So there's lots of different vehicles that are emerging. It's a really valid point, and I don't think there's anything I can say to prove to you that's not going to, there's anything that's going to fundamentally kind of convince residents that things are changing until they change, if that makes sense. But the council understands that. Sorry, go for it.
Thanks. Can I just add to that? I'm actually actively the representative from my estate. It is now year 3 where I've actually been actively trying to address and resolve the communal repairs in my estate. 3 years, and it hasn't been finished. And unless I chase it, nothing is done. You know, but it's just an example.
Yeah.
My daughter is getting where she wakes up. They got leaders outside her house, and she's been complaining to the mayor and even everyone, and nothing is being, you know, nothing's being solved. I mean, I've just lost my son, and I don't want to lose another child. You understand? And nothing's being done. You know, she's a woman lived by herself. Come on, you don't need to sort things out like that.
Points very well made. Yeah, we'll also take some of those direct issues about issues on the estates offline, if that's okay, and deal with them properly in a kind of more one-to-one conversation, and we'll get that resolved through casework and inquiries, if that's okay. All completely valid contributions. Just to kind of reset and get back to the exercise just for today. I'm assuming that's okay for questions, and we'll now just remind everyone we're moving into that part of the session where we're talking about the top 3 priorities for Stratford and West Ham neighbourhood area, and I think we're going to have something like 5 or 10 minutes. Josie, is that right? Oh, 35 minutes, plenty of time. Okay, so you've got 30 minutes for priorities, and obviously we can keep this conversation going on tables if there's any coming. Oh, I just saw one last hand up. Would you like to?
I need that resistance, you know, and especially when I'm trying, is I need to check my own results to be that good, and especially that I need to be like, and especially that I need support, you know, and especially when they're trying to take care of me, it's because I didn't know anything, and I need to be forsaken now because I don't want to be bad anymore. You're not bad.
Okay. Thank you very much for that. We'll break up into group discussions and we'll keep this conversation going over the next half an hour, if that's okay. And thank you very much.
Hi, everybody online.
Can we have a round of applause for James, please? Thank you. So the activity is actually 40 minutes. If you can finish it in 35, because we are running 5-10 minutes late at the moment. So what you do is discuss what you like to prioritize in your local area. Look at each theme. There are cards, color card on your table, and your facilitator will explain that to you as well. And online facilitators, they'll share their screen. So if you feel like some themes You can choose out of these 6 themes, 3 themes which matter to you and agree as a table which those 3 themes should be. In case you think that some themes are missing, you can add one using a blank card, but please first discuss with the facilitator what you want to say could come under these 6 themes, right? Makes sense to everybody? Once you discussed each theme, prioritize 3 themes collectively on your table and put your themes in the envelope which your facilitator will do. All prioritized themes will be put forward to the voting stage. And also please choose one person. You'll have 1 minute opportunity only, so keep it short, please, to provide feedback that what did you discuss and why you put forward those 3 priorities. Over to the facilitators now, please. Thank you.
Well, hi, Venetia. Thank you for your comment. And we look forward to your colleague joining. So I'm going to put us all into breakout rooms, and we have all got co-hosts now. So enjoy the conversation, and we'll meet back in 35 minutes.
Don't forget bring everyone back. Hang on a sec.
Okay, just one table left.
Yeah, that's fine. No, you can have, can't see any new ones. All 6 of them are here. They're still in breakout rooms. Yeah. So I'll close them all.
Okay, 30 seconds, everybody online. If you can come out of your breakout rooms, thank you. And in room, has facilitators, have you selected somebody to give feedback? There'll be 1 minute feedback. Thank you.
I'm going to close the room in. Oh, it's all right. So it's 1 minute before it gets.
We're just waiting for online breakout rooms to come back into the main assembly. Thank you. And in the meantime, facilitators in room, if you need an iPad or if anybody needs an iPad, please put your hand up because Ricky will bring the iPads to you. If smartphones. Okay, welcome back everyone. And let's have some feedback. I hope you have some really constructive conversations and you have managed to select your top 3 priorities. Everybody online, thank you for doing that. May I ask, Anna, if you unmute yourself, how many breakout rooms were there?
There were 3.
Okay, and you have got a person to provide feedback, or will be the facilitators be providing us with the feedback?
Facilitators will be.
Okay, in that case, Anna, maybe start with you. Thank you.
Ooh, okay. We chose community safety, health and well-being, and youth empowerment as our top 3.
Why did you choose those? Any particular reason?
We had discussions about each of them, and it was the passion, the strength of feeling, the root causes, personal experience. So a range of reasons why we chose each of those.
Thank you very much, Anna. I go to CG next, please. CG, what are your 3 favorite themes and why?
We had very passionate discussions about most of them. We sort of ran out of time towards the end, but I think we were tied on some votes. So we were putting through 2, which is environment and public spaces and health and well-being. Lynn, did you want to add anything?
No, I thought you were going to put 4, not 2.
Sorry.
You can only put forward 3, please. Thank
3,
you.
yeah, because the other 2 only got 1 vote each. So that's why I was asking whether we can just put forward 2.
Oh, well, you choose the other one then, perhaps.
Okay, will do.
If you can put forward the 3rd one as well, please.
Okay.
Kulsuma.
Hello. Our group had a really good discussion, and we've picked out environment and public spaces, community development and participation, and health and well-being. I think the reasons were, I mean, like we all know, they're all really important, and we couldn't figure out which one to sort of pick, so we just took a vote. So we did a voting system, and we just picked out the highest ones. Yes, that's it. So yeah, those are our 3.
Thank you, Kulsuma. Could we have a round of applause for people online, please? Thank you. Absolutely brilliant. Okay, now we're coming back to the room, and we'll go to table 1. And on table 1, who is going to provide feedback, please? And please tell us your name.
Hello. Oh. Hi, I'm Zizidi, and on our table we chose health and well-being and community safety and environmental and public space. The reason we choose that is because health, first of all, everyone needs health to do anything. Without health, you can't do anything. So it's the most important. And then community safe. If we don't live in a place that is safe, no one is happy. Sure. And about environmental, I think we need to look more on our environmental. And we also discussed that we need to train more our young people, like to care about the environmental and tell them like how important it is for everybody.
Fantastic. Thank you so much.
No problem.
Thank you. Okay, over to Aidan's table. Aidan, who's providing feedback, please. If you please introduce yourself.
We chose community safety, youth empowerment, inclusive economy. But basically, we discussed that all these things, everything is important, and that we were unanimous about community safety. Everybody said yes. Some people said they weren't sure about other things. But in fact, everything's connected. Because on one of these cards, it says food security, and that's inclusive economy. If people are hungry, what are they going to do? They're going to join gangs or I don't know what, you know. So there we are.
Very valid points. Thank you. And over to next to Zach's table, please. And if you don't mind standing up and introduce yourself, please. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Dan. We chose community development and participation, health and well-being, and youth empowerment. I think when we first spoke about it, health and well-being was the one that came across really strongly, that people felt was really important. But we always felt community development and participation was really important because that's about a local ownership of projects. And then between youth empowerment and inclusive economy, we found it really hard to pick. We thought they were both really, really essential. But in the end, we went for youth empowerment.
Thank you very much, Dan. Okay, Lynette's table, please.
Hi, there were quite a few verbal fisticuffs on our table. So we came up with 3: youth empowerment, community safety, and community development and participation.
Thank you very much, Lynette. And over to Sandra's table, please.
Hi, my name is Sandra. I think on our table, the same as everybody else, the health and well-being was really a huge priority, as well as community safety, and the community safety also goes in with the environment and public spaces. They're sort of linked together. So that's, we've all unanimously agreed on our ones. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Sandra. And the last, Kulsuma, your table. Thank you. If you please stand up and introduce yourself.
My name is Adam. I'm from Plasto. So we chose youth environment, community safety and health and well-being. We discuss also about the other issues which is connect each other and important. I think as many men here, and if we don't have health and of course safety, so you know, if they each connect each other, yeah, and community safety as well is connected and the other team. So that's why we discuss about all of them. It's very important, as I mentioned that. And so we chosen those three: youth, environment, community safety, and health and well-being.
Thank you very much. And we welcome our residents from Glasgow. Thank you. Okay, we're going to move on to voting round now. I hope you're really excited. And does everybody know how to use menti.com? If you don't, the facilitators are going to guide you. So if you can have the next slide up, just please. So this voting round is individual, but only themes that have been shortlisted. I think all the themes have been shortlisted, so they'll be on there. Please vote for the top 3 you think should go forward. That's your vote out of the 6. Okay. So there is the code for Menti. Go to menti.com. And if you put the code in, you can put Menti code in Google. It will come up. And the code is 39096630. If anybody needs support, let us know, please. And you have got 8 minutes again. So is everybody ready? Can we have some noise in the room, please? Thank you. And online. Okay. Chris, are you ready?
Yeah.
3, 5. Come on. 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's see what the results are. Yay!
Can you share screen with us, please?
We can't see it. We can't share the celebration.
Yes.
Oh,
okay.
yes.
Top 3 priorities
Oh, yes.
for Stratford and West Ham are health and well-being, community safety, and environment and public spaces. And a huge round of applause for yourselves. So this is done individually. Everybody has done their individual votes. So this is the 3 priorities that will go forward. Thank you.
Just out of interest,
So let's share the results from the Mentimeter as well. Just give us 1 second. Okay, as you can see, health and well-being way ahead. And then community safety, environment, community development, youth empowerment. There's not that much difference actually in the next 4 priorities. Only inclusive economy is in the 6th place. Yeah, 3rd and 4th, there was quite a tie between the 2, and somebody voted at the last minute. But thank you very much for everybody who has voted today. And these are our 3 priorities. Okay, we are going to move on swiftly. And of course, CG online. CG, are you able to introduce our working group?
Hello. I'm CG. I'm the senior officer for Stratford and West Ham. I'm sorry, but if there's a background noise, somebody's ringtone is going on in a bag somewhere. Okay, so working groups are a group of residents, volunteers, council officers, and local councillors coming together to support community assemblies from the start to the end. Recruitment for 2023-25 cycle started at Stratford and West Ham in mid-March with 1 online and 3 in-person workshops at Stratford Library. Out of the 40 applications we received, interviews were conducted for the shortlisted applicants. We would like to take this opportunity to thank everyone who took the time to apply. We have recruited 20 working group members and 5 people are on the waiting list. The working group will support with shortlisting project proposals, monitoring projects, promoting the People Powered Program and projects, and give feedback. I welcome and invite the 20 working group members whose names are on the slide to stand up and wave if you're in the room. If you're online, if you're comfortable, please turn on your cameras so everyone can see you, and please give a wave.
Chris, can we take the camera around the room, please, so they can see?
Fantastic. I can see loads of people waving. I'm so glad all of you could make it. Thank you. Can we have a big round of applause once again, ladies and gentlemen, for all these lovely neighbors of yours who have volunteered their time to support projects for the next 2 years. We are so happy to have you on board. Can't wait to get started. Thank you so much.
Thank you, CG, and welcome each and every one of you for your support. And the working group members are volunteers, to be noted, and we will be meeting them very, very soon. Thank you. Okay, this brings us to the end of this round, and I will call Councillor Charlene McLean, Cabinet Member for Resident Engagement and Resident Experience, to say a few words. Thank you.
Brilliant, thank you, JT. Oh, do you know what? That was actually really glorious. We had really fantastic discussions on our tables, and I did go around a little bit and hear some of what people say. Just a quick question. So were there any of the tables who chose all 3 of the priorities? So your table did? Okay. And your one? Okay. Yeah, we got 2. So 2 out of 3 isn't bad. But no, just a quick thank you to say thank you so much for coming. Thank you to the working group members. It's so wonderful to see such a diverse range of names there, and that there's 20 of you. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing what projects come out of the 3 priorities that we have chosen. Thank you to the staff also, to those online and to those in the room. And I look forward to seeing you at the next event.
July the 6th.
July the 6th. See you there, Philly Square.
Thank you, Councillor McLean. Okay, somebody just asked for the date. It's on there, 6th of July. Again here, may I request all of you to tell your neighbours, your friends, and people who work or live in the area to come and join us so that we have more participation, please. And project applications, please note, will open from 20th of June to 3rd of September. And before everybody leaves, please give us your feedback. Again, your facilitators have got the QR code on the tables. You all have got a smartphone, we know that, and you can all give us feedback. So please don't leave without providing feedback. Same request to each and every one of you online. Provide us your feedback. I thank you all, the residents, the councillors, and my colleagues for their support today. And a final round of applause for everybody, and a huge thank you.